Health, Home, and Lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hafa and welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. It's American with Disabilities Awareness Month, and in studio I have Mr. Ben Servino from the Department of Integrated Services for Individuals with Disabilities. So a lot going on this month. Can you tell us, for those who maybe don't know, how many people are there in Guam with disabilities?
Well, based on the 2010 census, we have about between 12,000 and 13,000 people with disabilities that have been identified here in Guam. But I really think there's more people with disabilities. It's just that a lot of people don't want to disclose their disability. They want to keep it very confidential. And there are a lot of hidden disabilities out there. So again, people don't recognize these hidden disabilities. They just look at the physical disabilities more so than the hidden disabilities.
But there are actually a lot of advantages to getting registered. I know there's a registry. So what are the advantages of registering online? Well,
we have this online registry for people with special needs. It was passed as legislation was recently passed by Narissa Underwood when she was a senator. And it again provides an opportunity for people with disabilities to register with DISIT and also with the fire department. So if there's a natural disaster or an emergency that occurs, the first responders will be better prepared to communicate more effectively with people with disabilities, understand what type of equipment they may need, and they'll be better fitted to address all these things before they get to the site. And there's a lot of advantages actually, because we can collect this data and it'll be really accurate data. We won't be duplicated data, and then we can use this information to apply for federal grants. And when people ask me, what is the count on the actual number of people with disabilities, I have that information readily available.
Mm-hmm. And that's helpful because, like you said, the 2010 census, that's already almost a decade ago, so we need to update those numbers. And some people in Guam, they might not even know they have a disability. They may not realize that maybe they are dealing with a disability. So can you give us an idea of some of the issues people in our community might be facing and that might allow them to sign up?
Sure. And there's a lot of people with diabetes, and that's very predominant here because of our diet and our lifestyle. So as we look at diabetes, a lot of people will be losing their vision. And then you find people who have strokes, and then again, they have limitations in their right side of their body or the left side of their body. And then there's also a lot of increase now of awareness of autism. You'll see that there are a lot of students that are being identified in the school system that are transitioning out to the community that have autism. So there, as I said earlier, there's also the hidden disabilities that aren't even recognized by a lot of people. And as you see people who are parking the accessible parking spaces, you can see some people that don't have these physical disabilities, but they may have a respiratory problem, or it's not visible, and they need to have access to those parking spaces.
Definitely, and of course these are things that can develop over time, and so I know your department works to help disseminate information. And as part of Awareness Month, I know there are a lot of events going on. Tell us about some of the big events happening this month.
We just had the proclamation signing with the Lieutenant Governor last Friday, and then on Monday I conducted a workshop on accessible parking for people with disabilities in business establishments. This morning we worked with the Guam Legal Services to conduct a presentation for reasonable accommodations and obligations employers have to comply with the ADA. We're also going to have other workshops like service animals. There's a lot of issues about service animals and the rights of individuals who use service animals. And then website design, the accessibility to websites. And we have an activity called A Day in a Life.
Yeah, so that's one big event I'm kind of excited about. I know that people can still sign up. So what can people expect in this Day in the Life event?
It's a disability simulation event where leaders from our community, both from the government sector, the private sector, and we're encouraging the military to take part in it, so they can actually experience what it's like to have a disability. Our committee will assign a disability to these individuals, and they take on this disability for half the day and then experience some of the challenges that a lot of people with disabilities face, either at the work site or on the community, the lack of accessibility. So, you know, it has a greater impact on our leaders, and they can recognize this and help make a systems change effort to make sure our island is a better accessible place. And, you know, the governor, lieutenant governor always talks about this. We want to build our economy, and we want to try to focus on making Guam the #1 tourist destination for people with disabilities. So when we have tourists that come to Guam from different states and jurisdictions, you know, they bring their family, and then they spend here in Guam. It builds our economy. So we want to help make that a big issue and a big priority for, again, the Visitors Bureau. So when they go out and market Guam, Guam's so young, we have an opportunity to address all the accessibility and the barriers that exist, and you see all the construction that's going on. So this is a fine opportunity to now build those accessibility features.
So definitely you can still sign up for this event, and then it'll kind of, you know, open your eyes to give you more of a perspective about some of the challenges and some of the ways people with disabilities are going through their day-to-day lives. And also, of course, some fun happening later this month. There is the it's the
integrated bowling tournament. Yes, we're having an integrated bowling tournament, and this in conjunction with Special Olympics Guam. So we're encouraging business and government sectors to, again, form a team, a 5-person team, and include an employee with a disability or a Special Olympics athlete. And the proceeds from this tournament would actually go to benefit Special Olympics.
Okay, and that's happening later this month. Can people still sign up?
Yes, absolutely. They can call our office at 475-4646, and we can get them signed up. And, you know, I'd really want to encourage people to take advantage of these workshops because they're all free. And, you know, it's all about educating the community about their roles and responsibilities, especially employers and businesses, and again, also the government sector.
Thanks so much, Mr. Servino. Last thing I want to mention, people can still sign up online, right? Pledge their support.
That's correct. They can go to www.adaanniversary.org and just put a pledge in there saying that they commit to the ADA and they want to comply with the ADA.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Servino.
Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned, we'll have more health, home, and lifestyle after the break.